So I want to start off by asking a very obvious question that we can all easily answer. Raise your hand if you've ever used Google Maps. Yeah. Right, now keep your hand raised if you've ever typed a destination into Google Maps and it just stared back at you blankly, like you'd asked it to explain the meaning of life. Not usual. Right, so you can put your hands down. Well, in 2022, I typed in my future. I was in Johannesburg, South Africa, and Google Maps said, best I can do for you is New York. So as a child who's been acting since the age of 7, I thought, New York, this is great, Broadway, I'm gonna be a theatrical genius. But the universe laughed at me and said, how about Alfred, New York? So now fortunately I have since been to Broadway, but everyone usually asks me how I found Alfred all the way from South Africa. While I was applying to universities in America, my mom actually stumbled upon Alfred and suggested that I apply. I always joke about this, but I guess mothers do know best because I have stayed in Alfred since. So I took it upon myself to Google Alfred. Coming from a big city, when I saw that the population was about 4,000 with more cows than I could count, and that it was as far from Broadway as you could get in the same state, I can't lie, I was extremely worried about the culture shocks. But off my dad and I went, leaving the bustling, chaotic warmth of Johannesburg, South Africa, to the snow-covered hills of upstate New York. I came to Alfred knowing that I wanted to double major in theater and philosophy. I never wanted to give up on my love and dedication for theater, but I also knew that I loved discussions and writing. The one thing that I do appreciate about Alfred is that when everyone else in the world basically thought I was majoring in unemployment and overthinking, the faculty here never put me in that box. They gave me the space to explore everything I wanted. And so my days became filled with theater friends asking me to rehearse lines or spend time building props, while my philosophy friends asked me about the meaning of life and whether I still believed in God after reading The Genealogy of Morals by Nietzsche. In one class, I'd be discussing Hegel's ideas of history and his ideas on the spirit of humanity. In the next, my professor or director would be asking me, what is your objective? What do you want in this scene? Seems like two different worlds, doesn't it? But the funny thing is, my majors are more connected than people realize. Philosophy asks the big, terrifying questions about who we are and what a good life is and what it means to lead a good life. And theater just makes you try on the answers to these questions for 2 hours with costumes and makeup. So even though being a double major is hard work, I wouldn't change it for the world. That is my hope for you students here today, that if you attend, you are able to fall passionately in love with whatever niche you find here at AU. I can assure you that no one will stop you from trying on new hats and reinventing yourself, because what better time to do that than in your 20s while you still can, right? Despite any culture shocks, my mom was right. Alfred was a very important place for me to be, because it gave me the space to find myself. Finding my people made Alfred feel like a home. If I had never come to AU, I might have never met my best friends who live a walking distance away. I would have never cried over finals week while eating string cheese on the floor with my roommates in freshman year. Trust me, it's a rite of passage. I would have never gone sledding with my best friend on our snow day a few weeks ago. I would have never been able to meet the people who I want to be in my life forever. I wouldn't have been involved in the incredible club culture here at AU and become the president of the International Students Association. I might have never gone on trips with my club to places like the city, Chicago, Boston, Washington, D.C. I might have never joined the Women's Leadership Academy and found my favorite safe space on campus. And all this work has led up to an amalgamation of taking on different roles in my senior year. Last semester, I had the joy and pleasure of playing Lady Macbeth in the fall production of Macbeth. The role was challenging because I had to explore emotions I do not normally experience. But all the late nights and hard work became worth it in the end when I got to celebrate the show with my cast, and I was nominated for an Irene Ryan Scholarship at the American College Theatre Festival. This semester, I was even given the opportunity to direct a department show as my senior project. I was able to pitch the idea for the show Dryland and have it approved by faculty. It has been a very eye-opening and rewarding experience to work with every element of a design and production team to bring my vision to life. I'm very grateful that the faculty trusted me enough to collaborate with me on that show. As a senior, I have become painfully aware of my time left in undergrad. I realize that I'll miss all the laughs in the dining halls. I'll miss how beautiful the campus becomes in the fall. I'll miss my favorite professors who have become friends. I'll miss the late nights rehearsing in Miller. I'll miss the crazy memories made on hot dog day. I'll miss using the dessert station at Aid as my coping mechanism when I've had a rough day, because a sweet treat is vital to the college experience. But more than anything, I'll miss the chosen family that I've created. But I also can't wait for my next chapter. I look forward to attending law school for entertainment law and doing auditions out in the real world while studying. I can guarantee that you will see me on your screens one day. But as I reflect on the fact that the quiet nights at Alfred that once felt isolating now feel like a held breath before my next act, I hope that it is students like you who come here and continue to make this place the community that it is. So if you're wondering what the takeaway is from an 8,000-mile journey to a tiny village to study 2 subjects that supposedly don't make money, I can tell you this. We are all immigrants to our futures while stumbling into unexpected moments. If we're bound to live a life that is uncertain and unexpected, we might as well make it like a good play. A play where you as the main character take every opportunity thrown your way so that one day, when someone asks you why you chose Alfred, you can say, why not? Thank you.